Hello, my name is Tom Morgan, and I'm a product leader who works with a number of leading brands and part of Accenture's Soul. There are three things that I hear from CTOs, CIOs, and CMOs that I want to share with you. Number one is, how do we maintain relevance with our customers? Whereas a product could once be designed, built, and delivered and live for a few years as the very same thing it started at, it's no longer the case. Products now need to continuously iterate and readily evolve in order to meet the changing expectations of customers today. And why is this so important? Because regardless how much marketing and brand activity you do, one of the most effective relationships that your customers will have with you is through your digital product. And what I've seen is a change from my clients of prototyping and creating small products in innovation and incubation labs and then handing those over to engineers to build. Instead, I now see products that start small but scale by virtue of the way they've been designed, architected, and built. And they continue to scale and they continue to respond to how customers use them. It's called perpetual innovation. And they're pursuing more modern and interesting technologies. They're looking at different ways to connect with customers through their products. And that's why we're seeing the rise of composable and muck and headless. These used to just be words as part of the CTO's concern. But now everyone's interested in how they can build stuff faster and how they can make it much more relevant to their customers. Secondly, they're asking, how do we measure better and how do we measure quicker and respond to what our customers are telling us? It used to be sufficient to conduct a research panel or a focus group and understand what customers felt about your product and then react to it. But that's so point in time, and traditional analytics that would be used on top of that are now unfashionable. Brands are after real-time activation based on real-time data so that they can make more personalized decisions with their product, and they can allow customers to keep up with what they're telling them about the brand experience they're having and react. And it's the right way to think, because building a product without thinking about the outcomes is like driving fast without looking. And third, how do we move faster and how do we work better together? They're looking for their organizational culture to better reflect the time that we live in. People need to think like product people in order to succeed. It's tempting to think that creativity is something that happens up front. It goes into some kind of technology pipeline and then comes out as a product. But if you think that in 2023, unfortunately, you're wrong. Creativity and technology are not opposite ends of a spectrum. We block ourselves into corners with this way of thinking. We still think that creativity is brand and design and technology is code and programming. Creatives and marketeers take a fanatical approach to their work, while technologists still concern themselves merely with the ticket or the item right in front of them. And if you look at the way that people actually interact with your brand, it's not through your marketeers or your technologists, it's through your product. I meet marketeers who claim to intricately understand how best to communicate with their customers, and yet they don't understand how an HTML banner works. Equally, I meet engineers who have no interest whatsoever in the customers that they're actually building the product for. They say it's not their job, as if Mozart could possibly have composed a concerto without understanding the mechanics of a piano. We need to get teams working together with common outcomes in mind to solve that particular problem. Marketeers, if your product is no good, it will likely fail regardless of how good your ad campaign is. And technologists, you need to lift your head out the code and look at what's going on around you. Be hungry and be creative with your decisions. Coca-Cola is often one of the best stories touted by marketeers as a story about the power of the brand. They'll talk about the marketing, they'll talk about the segmentation and the offering. A little credit is often given to the fact that the core product itself is a feat of engineering marvel. The iconic sound of a can of Coke being opened is a great example of these two things working extremely well together. Brands that succeed in this space give their teams high alignment by framing the vision extremely clearly and then combine it with high autonomy, giving their teams control as to how to get there. That's the secret of getting teams to work closely to build great products. So those are the three things that I'm hearing at the moment. How do we maintain relevance? How do we listen better? And how do we move faster? If you've enjoyed any of the themes in this topic, feel free to get in touch. Book me for your next conference. And in the meantime, good luck.